This is one of the main entrances for Harlow Museum. If you want to come this way, I'll let you know what we're looking at doing for the summer. Now, since I've taken over the museum, everybody asks me about the bikes. When are the bikes going back up? So we decided that the bikes needed to go back up as soon as possible. So that's exactly what we're doing. So, can I just introduce you to the lovely David Devine? David was the museum manager and the curator for how many years, David?
25 years.
25 years. So David is my oracle. So myself and David are currently working on the John Collins bicycle collection. So as you can see, we've got our first 5 bicycles out. And the plan is that over the next few weeks, they're all going to be back out within Gallery 3. And we've got, Gallery 5, and we've also got Harlow's Carnival this year. So we've got a float with the bicycles on as well as a way of relaunching the collection. So this is going to be the groove that the bicycles all go back up on. So many, many years ago, they would be hung all around the top area. So we're currently getting those up. I think they should be up, some of them will be up this weekend, the rest will be up the following weekend. So please do come along and have a look at that.
Just something I noticed as we're walking along, if we walk through here, I would say this being a journalist, is all the old newspapers.
Absolutely, let's take you back through here. You came with a nice idea actually recently, Michael, about doing a newspaper article from years ago, but a whole newspaper based on old articles. So, yeah, as you can see, the Friends paid for all of these books to be bound for us. So we have all of the newspapers going back, I think it's 70 years.
Well, it goes from, 53 right through to modern day.
Yeah, that's right.
And people do do people come in? Do people come in and have a look at...
People come in all the time and they look for weddings of their parents or their own weddings or births and deaths or stories from around the days. We have at least 2 or 3 people in a day just looking through the old newspapers.
But just to make that point again, people are free to come in here.
Absolutely.
Trying to find 1972 or 1984 or 2005, you can come in here and find that sweep of newspapers that were printed in those days.
Absolutely. So let's have a look at one, for example. So where should we start? Harlow Star.
I'm not proud.
March 2005. So, yeah. So basically all the old newspapers have just been bound. PAH under fire for car park fees hike. That could be today as well. Could be today.
Actually, if you turn back a few pages here, I think there's something about planning for the future or something. You know that. Let's find it. County boundaries. Planning for the future of Harlow 2020 conference. You know, so, but that's the cycle of news, I guess. But people can come in, have a look, and
absolutely.
Can you photocopy?
You can. We do. We've got a photocopying service. Just give us a shout. Not a problem at all. So yeah, they're fantastic. Another thing that we do at the museum that not a lot of people know about, it's a huge school programme. Before I started, we used to have a wonderful education officer called Claire, and she set up a fantastic programme. So I'm a teacher by trade, so I very much appreciated the history and the education values that we've got here, all the opportunities that we've got here. So some of the things that schools can borrow, and I think we have over 20 of these, are these handling boxes. So what they contain are everything from actual originals from the day to some replicas that the children themselves can take out, look at, feel, and actually identify with. So we've got all of these from World War One. We've got Roman handling boxes. Of course, we've got the Roman temple, so we are a Roman museum. Another one that we do is the New Town. I think that one's over here. And also archaeology. So once again, filled with clay pots. And what they also do is they include ways of measuring the parts of basically everything to do with archaeology, so that teachers can just take this away, understand how it works, and deliver a session. They're fantastic. Now we rent these out, we hire these out for, I think they're about £15 for a term. So schools just give us a shout, we book them out, they can pick them up, and away they go. Other things that we have in our library are photographs. Going back to the beginning of the new town again, the public can come in and have a look through these. We've also got a new lottery funded video kiosk, which is fantastic. And again, the public can come in and have a look at that. We're looking at uploading some Harlow information on there at the moment. One of the problems you will see with the library is the lack of lighting. Now, this is something that we're working on, but we are looking at having the library redesigned. So if there's anybody out there, any students who are looking at design for their courses, come and have a chat with me. Let's see what you guys can come up with. So if you'd like to follow me this way, Michael. Oh, by the way, can I just point out those flowers, those roses? Those roses were donated to us by Frank Jackson. He turned 90 last week. He's part of the Peace Corps. And he came in, he had his 90th birthday at the museum last week. And this is something else that the public can do and they probably don't understand. He hired the gallery. We actually put an exhibition of his life up all around the walls, all of his newspaper cuttings, photographs from his family and friends. And we had a little party in the garden. It was absolutely lovely. And people don't think about the museum for celebrations and things like that, but they really should. You know, if we can make some money through donations by using the museum, everybody wins. So anything that you've got coming up, please do give me a shout. Even children, they have their birthday parties in the garden. We don't charge for hire of the gardens. They're a community resource. And parents tend to give me a shout first, just to let us know they're coming, and then they'll put a little donation in the box. Everybody's happy once again. So we're just changing these two exhibitions over. We're going from the bicycle collection. We did have, this was our Harlow Town collection, obviously to celebrate our 70-year anniversary of Harlow last year. So if you just follow me through to this gallery too. Now, during the holidays, this is a fantastic place to bring your children if they're studying history at school, which most of them are. A lot of the schools at the moment are doing the Romans, and of course we are famed here for our bicycle collection and our Roman collection. So we've got a Roman coin collection, which I think is one of the largest outside the British Museum, and also, as Harlow is a Roman site, we also have the temple and a lot of the pottery from there. So if you follow me through here, it's some of our finds from Roman Harlow. Fantastic for the kids for when they're doing their school projects. We've got a lot of paperwork here for them, lots of books and things to take away. And if a child turns up here saying they want to help with their history homework, we are over the moon and we're more than happy to help. We just want to spread the love of history, really. Guys, have you heard about that great butterfly count?
Yeah.
You have? Wonderful.
Yeah.
We're doing it here at the museum. So if you go down by the front desk, you can pick up one of the little pieces of paper which has got all of the butterflies on there. Then you go in the gardens, you find a good spot where you see lots of butterflies, and for 15 minutes you tick off all the ones that you found. Sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay then. What are you doing at the moment? Some rubbings?
Yeah, we're doing some of the fossil rubbings. We have to colour it and
Really cool. You're going to take them home?
yeah,
Put them on the fridge?
put it in my scrapbook.
Have you met Mike? He's a genuine fossil ourselves. We've got our own fossil just there. He's way over 300 years old, which is quite old for a Mike. And Mike's our archaeologist. So if you guys want to come over here and see what Mike's doing, can we open these up, Mike?
In here, we have lots of little bits and pieces, right? Do you know what they are? Can you see what they are?
This is a box,
Pardon?
piece of pots.
Yes. And they're shattered, aren't they?
Yeah.
They've been broken. Like indoors, you might break something in the garden or in the kitchen. Well, years ago, people used to get rid of their crocs, you know, probably ended up in the street or in a ditch or in a rubbish pit somewhere. And what we're looking at here is other people's bits and pieces where they use them for cooking. These are primarily what I'm looking at is cookpot pieces.
How old are they, Mike?
Well, the ones we're looking at can vary because they're all mixed up anyway, but the most of them are within the 13th and 14th century, which if I was to tell you what years they were, it would be somewhere around 1200 That's 1200 years, 1200 in Old Harlow Market Street. You know, when there was a marketplace and people used to sell things. So we're talking about funny old people walking around with stockings and shoes and boots and things, you know. Some with pretty faces, pretty scaly faces, right?
See, history's fun. Let's go this way.
So if you ask me a question, you know...
So there's a couple more bikes here. Now you might actually see some modern bikes outside. Now they're there because we've got some lodgers. Hub and Spoke they moved in. They moved in about 6 months ago, which is a local bicycle charity. They needed a new home and it just made absolute sense for them to come here really. So these bikes are here from Hub and Spoke and they're available for the public to hire. I think they're a couple of £1 a day if that. Now every Sunday the Hub and Spoke riders, they all meet here in the courtyard and then they all head off on their big bike rides. They've got an office in the back and what they do with us now is some bicycle days for the children. So we've got a couple of them lined up for the summer where kids can bring their bikes in. Hub and Spoke will show them how to service their bikes, how to fix a puncture, all of that sort of stuff. So nice and practical stuff as well. Some of the other stuff that we've got going on in the gardens over the summer, we've got a Teddy Bears picnic. We do crafts every day of the week. And I think we've got Roman weeks this year. I can't think where else we've got going. So you do need to check out the website for that and the Facebook pages. But we have a complete programme with all of our 6 week summer programme on there. We've got our listening bench, of course, which was, again, we had that fitted by the National Lottery, I think it was about a year ago now. And that's got some fantastic stories on there from some local residents. And all in all, I just think Harlow Museum is just a really lovely place to come and spend a morning or an afternoon. Bring a picnic, bring the children down, make sure there's lots of sunblock, although I do have some in the office if people run out. And we're really just a nice family, friendly, community asset, and my aim is to have it filled. Thanks for the visit today, Michael.